Hi, I'm Dr. Brittney Anderson. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and I help other physicians launch their own private practices. If you've ever thought about starting your own practice, you've probably asked yourself, can I actually afford to leave my job? And I think this is where a lot of physicians get stuck, because it's not just about wanting more autonomy, which is what so many of us want. It's about walking away from a steady paycheck. But here's the thing, most docs are asking the wrong question. It's not just, can I replace my salary? So let's talk about 3 things that I think you actually need to think about before you make that decision that you can or you can't open a private practice. The first thing you need to know is, what does your life actually cost you each month? Not your salary, not your ideal lifestyle, but your real day-to-day expenses. Your mortgage, your rent, groceries, childcare, insurance, debt. What do you actually need to keep your household running every month? Because your private practice doesn't have to replace your full employed salary on day one, but it does need to support what you actually need during this transition. And those are 2 very different numbers. The second thing that I think you should think about is your runway. How are you going to support yourself while your practice gets off the ground? And runway doesn't just mean that you got to have a big savings account. It could look like your savings, yes. It could look like a spouse's income. It could also look like part-time work. Maybe you're going to do some locums or PRN or some moonlighting shifts. The goal here is not to have 0 risk when you're thinking about starting a private practice, but the goal is to have enough support that you can build your practice without feeling like everything is on the line immediately. The third thing, and this is a big one that you should think about, is that your practice does not have to replace your full salary right away. I see this really hold a lot of physicians back when they're thinking about starting a private practice. They think, well, if I can't make exactly what I'm making right now employed, then that must mean that I'm not ready for private practice. But that's not how most practices grow. In the beginning, your practice may just be covering expenses. It may be paying you partially, but over time it can grow. And you may have a bridge plan in place while that happens. That's not a sign that it's not working. That's actually how you build something sustainable. So if you're a physician out there and you are trying to figure out if you are financially ready to leave your job, I want you to slow down and ask yourself, do I really need to replace my salary right away? And the answer is no. Instead, be thinking, what do I actually need each month? What's my runway? And am I expecting my practice to do too much too quickly? You don't need perfect certainty, but you do need a plan. If you're in this phase right now, I go deeper into this in my new book, Private Practice on Purpose. It's available on Amazon. I think that if you found this short video helpful, make sure you subscribe and then check out the book. I love sharing content in the book, here on YouTube, and on my podcast weekly. It's called Physicians Hanging a Shingle, because my passion really is helping other physicians build a private practice that they actually want to own, and one that is sustainable and successful.